How's it going, everyone? My name is KTP with Label Gaming Club, and today I'm going to go over with you my list of the top 5 video games of 2022 so far. And starting off hot at number 5, we've got WWE 2K22. Now, making a comeback from the disastrous WWE 2K20 release, WWE 2K22 seems to right a lot of the wrongs from the previous installments. Now, that's not to say that there aren't any bugs in matches or shoddy online servers. That's almost expected. It's 2K we're talking about here. But apart from that, the character models look great for the most part, and now there's been a total rework with the strike and grapple system, which enhances gameplay tremendously, and no more loot boxes ruining the story mode. And now there's also no stamina meters, multiple life bars, or annoying minigames to play for submission moves. This game to me feels more like an old school wrestler, reminiscent of the early SmackDown vs. Raw games, but not quite the pinnacle of the SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. Overall, this is a pretty well-polished, great wrestling game that brings fans back wanting more after each match. Oh, and the custom characters are still the best thing about the game. Next up at number 4, we have Dying Light 2: Stay Human. Dying Light 2 was a great follow-up to its 2015 predecessor, bringing in more action, an amazing parkour system, and an interesting weapon customization system. Now at launch, the game did suffer from major bugs, but the overall gameplay kind of made you forget about all that. Personally, I ran into about 2 or 3 bugs tops in my first playthrough. The story and characters are very well written, although your character that you play as is about as lame as they get. But you kind of forget how lame you are because of how cool your friends are. The biggest addition to the game is the new meter that counts down when you turn into a zombie. The meter stays full during daylight and UV light, but step into the darkness and the meter could deplete in a matter of minutes. The game takes place in a vast open world full of tall buildings, plenty of traversable objects and platforms, and zombies. Lots and lots of zombies. Now overall, this is a great game, and I'd say the only disappointment is the imposed importance of decision making. While I made it to the end of the game, not much had changed from how I predicted the story to go. Not the greatest ending, but the post-game content does make it worthwhile. Next up at the number 3 spot, we've got Pokemon Legends Arceus. Pokemon Legends Arceus is a breath of fresh air compared to our regularly scheduled Pokemon games. The new catch and battle systems really change the way you approach each individual Pokemon and battle respectively. Instead of randomly running into Pokemon in the wild, you now have the ability to sneak up on these Pokemon and throw a Pokeball at them to catch them without initiating a battle. Now there are instances where if you upset the Pokemon will want to engage in battle. This is even harder to avoid for alpha Pokemon, which are much stronger and larger than your average Pokemon. But if you can manage to catch one, they can be a nice addition to your team. Overall, I believe the story was a little confusing, but nonetheless a good one in the end. But then again, it's Pokemon we're talking about. There really are no rules of story writing in this universe. At the number 2 spot, we've got the long-awaited LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Now, this is hands down the best LEGO game I've ever played. The new over-the-shoulder combat system greatly improved how combat felt and made gameplay feel more individualistic and less like random button mashing. The new combat system also introduced combos that can vary from the 3 of the action buttons that can control whether you use a melee attack, weapon attack, or force ability. The game looks absolutely amazing, and you can really tell that each LEGO block was rendered individually. The voice acting and retelling of some of the classic Star Wars stories and moments really shine in this game, being able to showcase that across all 9 films. I really hope that this style of LEGO games continues on into other intellectual properties such as the LEGO Marvel or even the LEGO Harry Potter series. And with that being said, it looks like we've got nothing left but our number 1, Elden Ring. Elden Ring is by far one of the greatest adventure games I've ever played. Think of it as Breath of the Wild, but for grown men and women. From Software brings you into an open world full of soldiers, demons, knights, ghosts, and more for you to discover and fight as you traverse the vast open world. The game itself is very difficult and teaches you many lessons about video games and life itself along the journey. If you can't beat that boss that kind of attacks you as soon as you get into the game, it's okay. The game kind of teaches you that the game's gonna kick your ass, and sometimes you gotta just go do something else and come back to it later and you'll be able to handle it. The gist of the game is that you go around gathering XP or runes by defeating enemies and bosses, but if you are defeated in combat, you do lose all of your runes you've been saving up. Thankfully, you can respawn and go reclaim your runes, but if you are defeated again before you can reclaim them, they're gone forever. So it's probably best that you spend your runes before boss battles. Now, not only do the graphics make this one of the most visually pleasing games I've played in a long time, the story and lore of the game itself keep me heavily invested in my character and building him up to be the strongest samurai in existence. Elden Ring is definitely a game I see easily winning the Game of the Year and is a must-have on my list for one of the best games to come out in 2022 so far. And there we have it, folks, my list of the top 5 video games of 2022 so far. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please drop a like and subscribe to be notified when the new content is posted. This is KTP with Label Gaming Club, and I'll see you all in the next video.